I worked here for 17 and a half years. Saw the sheriff's office start from, uh, start anew from the old sheriff in the old days. A lot of sweat, blood, tears, whatever you want to call it, but watched it grow. So I have a lot of pride in the Polk County Sheriff's Office. I have a lot of pride in the citizens of Polk County. And after doing that job for so long, you look up to the person of sheriff or the job of sheriff, and I think it's a lot of little boys' dreams to grow up one day and be the sheriff. Like I grew up with Westerns, so I want to be sheriff to get back and do things, get it back to a better place. The sheriff's office has to be changed. There's not a choice. The citizens of Polk County aren't being covered by deputies. We have to start from the top down and change. We have to start from the sheriff himself, from the sheriff's office itself. With the way Polk County has grown and with the budget cuts, we no longer can afford the fact that we have a sheriff that can sit in the office all day and do administrative duties all day. I want to go back to days when the sheriff actually was able to get out and work, take calls, see the citizens, watch what his deputies are doing. If you see Greene County on the news, you see Sheriff Arnott. He's on the scene, he's in uniform, and he's taking care of the job of sheriff and the citizens of Greene County. That's 350,000 plus people. He has a department of over 300 employees. We have a department of about 30 and 33,000 people. I think they deserve to see the sheriff out in the field and see him on the scene of a murder scene or a robbery scene or something. They deserve to see him taking care of the people who elected him. The sheriff is the chief. He's the highest elected law enforcement official in the county. He is the #1 law enforcement officer. He's the top man. His job is to take care of his 3 jobs per the statute state. He's to take care of the courts, he's to take care of the jail, and he's to serve civil. But the sheriff is more than that to me. The sheriff is a guy to talk to, visit with, see that the job of sheriff is being taken care of, and the citizens have the right and have the availability to talk to the sheriff, tell him what's going on in the county, tell him what they need in the county. The sheriff's job is to hire and fire and make sure we have appropriate, well-respected professional deputies, that we have a respected and a performing sheriff's office, that the job is being taken care of, the deputies are doing their job on the field, calls are being answered, the jail's maintained, the civil process is being served, and the courts are being taken care of. My job would be to do those things and oversee all of those things personally, not have an undersheriff or a secretary or somebody else that's doing those things for me. That's my job as a sheriff. The voters in Polk County are not being taken care of, and that's due to budget cuts and the economy. So at this point, we don't have the availability or we don't have the luxury of having a sheriff that sits in the office all day, or an undersheriff who sits in the office all day. We don't have the luxury of spending money for an undersheriff that makes $37,000 to sit in the office all day and not assist, not work the road, not fill in when vacation or holidays are there. We don't have the availability of having a $37,000 bailiff. The 3rd man in charge of the sheriff's office right now is the lieutenant. He makes $37,000 sitting in the court all day. We can do that with a $22,000 right out of the academy law enforcement officer or deputy. We have to get the undersheriff, which is going to be changed. That position is going to be no longer there. It's going to be changed to what we used to have as a chief deputy. And we're going to get rid of the lieutenant's position, or at least that spot where we have someone sitting in the court that makes $37,000 and does no other administrative duties. We will have supervisors to watch over the patrol officers and all the other departments of the sheriff's office. What I want to do is I want to become a working sheriff. I want to get back on the road. I want to see things that are being done. I want to answer calls and talk to the people. I want to work in chief deputy. I want somebody who, when we have vacation time, we have holidays, we have sick time, that chief deputy can fill in those spots if he needs to be. And by doing those, at least those 2 little things, the upper administration knows firsthand and not from what some friend or buddy or pal's telling them what's going on in the field and what his deputies are doing. The sheriff, the sheriff and the chief deputy will know. And thirdly, because we don't have all days, because I want to start a reserve program. Right now, Polk County has a reserve ride-along program. That's what I call it. They have law enforcement officers who are certified through the state to be deputies. They come in, they ride along, and they assist. They're not allowed to write tickets. They're not allowed to do reports on their own. They're not allowed to patrol on their own. There's so many departments across the state of Missouri that uses reserves. Pleasant Hope at one time had 7 reserves. Those guys come in, they get in the car, they went out and they patrolled and they did the job. We need to do that because we can't afford to pay the people. And there are people out there who are full-time other jobs, and that's what they want to do. They still love the law enforcement, they still want to do that job, and they're willing to do it for free. So I think we can start a real reserve program where we have people come in, we train them to what we want them to do, they can take a car out, and they patrol, and they write tickets, and they do reports, and they answer calls, and that frees up the full-time deputies to continue to do that in a better manner. So, as far as Polk County has to change. The time's changing. We've been doing what we've been doing for over 20 years the same way. And 20 years in this world time is a very long time to do the same exact thing. So I want to get back to the citizens of Polk County. I want to get back out on the road. I want to have deputies back on the road. I want to have people responding to calls. And that's just kind of where I'm at. I want people to be proud of and see the sheriff's office out there in the field.